All right, ladies and gentlemen, the buyer's temporary residential lease. I have to be honest, I see that I use this one a lot less frequently than I would the seller's temporary lease, but every once in a while you end up in kind of a cool situation. So just to let you know what's going on here is my client is set to close on this house actually at the very last day of the year, December 31st. However, they're moving it into an investment property, and the investor doesn't want to have the tax liability this year. So he goes, is there any way we can close in January? So absolutely, but here's the problem. They were planning on moving on Wednesday or Thursday, right? We were planning on being in there on Thursday. So can I go ahead and lease this place from you for a little bit? They said, absolutely. They said, basically the terms are, we're not going to charge you a daily rent, but we do want a $500 deposit that we will give back to you should you not tear the place apart, which I thought was really cool. Not 100% legal, so I'm going to show you how we get around that, but we're going to go with this. So basically, we're going to try and move this up just a little bit for a little ease for my client. So we're actually going to try and move in. So the lease, so as we go through this, parties, the lease is the landlord who currently owns the house because we're not closing till later. And this is my client, Joel. He will be moving in early, okay? Landlord leases this. Here's the address of the property. The lease will commence on December 30th and will terminate as specified in paragraph 18. We'll get to that in a minute. So the rental, there has to be valuable consideration, guys. You cannot say there is no rent due because otherwise it's not a valid lease. So basically I'm going to put $1 per day, all right? So it's going to impact my client very little, okay? And tenants shall pay the landlord the full amount of rental of blank dollars for anticipated term of the lease commencement due on the date. So basically, we're going to pay $1 a day, and we're going to expect this thing to go all the way till the 6th. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. We're going to say 8 days. It's going to be a dollar amount, so it's going to say $8. So we're going to prepay $8 for $1 a day. Now, what we're talking about next is the deposit. Remember they said they wanted a $500 deposit, which I'm completely fine with. This works just like a deposit anywhere you've ever lived. You know, we're going to make sure that we don't tear the place apart. If not, we keep it. Tenant shall pay all utilities except. Tenant will pay all utilities. There's no utilities on, so we're going to put not applicable there. One small dog. They have a small dog moving with them. So this is the pet section, condition of the property. The tenant accepts the property. You got to read through this with your tenant, with your client to make sure they understand what's going on with this. But basically, look, you're cool with it and you're going to leave it the way you found it. You're not going to make any changes to the property. Even though they're going to be buying it, you still can't, you don't own it yet, so you cannot change it because if something happens, guys, trust me, every once in a while, something does happen. So let them know you cannot hang up your pictures yet. You cannot change your flooring or start doing any of that. All you can do is simply move in. Special provisions, one more time, guys, do not put anything in here unless it's been spoken to your broker about it because this becomes legalese and you got to be very careful about it. Landlord can enter laws, all this good stuff. Read through this over that. Any possession by the tenant after termination creates a tenancy at sufferance. Again, if we go past the 8th, what I said here, termination of the lease, once we go past the 6th, what's it going to be? And I'm going to say we're going to pay $50 a day to make it look like, hey, look, yeah, if we're going past this, I want to make sure you're paying. So that's basically tenants at sufferance means that they don't want you in there anymore. They don't want to be landlords anymore, so they're suffering. That's the way I remember it. And if you go beyond that, then you're going to pay $50 a day after the termination is damages. So if they stay longer than that, it's going to cost them $50 a day. And then you're going to want to fill in the landlord's information and the tenant's information right here. Pretty straightforward and simple. Get this signed before you move in, clearly, and make sure everybody's cool with it. So, yeah, this is the buyer's temporary release. So we're going to be buying the property, but we're going to move in just a few days early. That's how you remember this one.